Hey folks, it's Maxwell here and welcome to another TEW9 video. It's time to light the fuse as we are going to have some AEW Dynamite, of course followed by Rampage and Collision. Not much has happened in terms of between now and the last Collision, so to be honest, let's just dive straight into it. Let's see if we can all get our head around all these interlapping, or overlapping, whatever the word is, storylines. Let's do it. So we're in the Taft Coliseum, and we are straight in with some good action on Dynamite. A good matchup saw Swerve Strickland defeat Sammy Guevara in 9:33 with a Swerve Stomp. 67 wrestling, 55 for the crowd, and a 72 overall. Pretty good stuff there. Bit disappointed Sammy couldn't get more than a 57. I'd like to have hoped that his skill set would have been pretty good and one that would maybe complement Strickland, but nah, not to be on this occasion. But Swerve is the character we're pushing, so absolutely delighted with that. After this one, we have some words from Swerve Strickland, just really bragging about what he did to Orange Cassidy on Collision, beating him down, taking him out. Obviously Nana's in the background, laughing, doing his wee dance. And then he's interrupted by Kyle O'Reilly, of course part of the conglomeration, in the stable alongside Orange Cassidy. And he challenges basically Swerve to a matchup. He wants to get some revenge for Orange Cassidy. So just basically confirming Saturday night, Collision, Swerve Strickland, Kyle O'Reilly. I think that'd be a pretty banging match. 52. These matches are encouraging that they could all be potentially main events at this stage, as we had a decent matchup that saw Hangman Adam Page defeat Dustin Rhodes in 8:01 by pinfall with a buckshot lariat. 64-49 and a 70, a good 78 performance from Hangman. Again, just using the workers that we're going to be pushing and in storylines, getting the victories over, in this case a veteran, and Dustin Rhodes. We then basically cut to an outside broadcast, basically a video sent in from Darby Allin. Just says he's still not medically cleared to be there, and he knows he's got problems with the BCC, but he knows what Hangman done to him. He knows what Hangman's done to Mick Foley. Mick Foley's never been back. And Darby says when the time's right, he's going to be back, and he's going to get revenge on Hangman Adam Page. So just basically tells him to be worried, to be very scared. And that was a 62. We then had a decent matchup that saw the champion of the women's division, Mariah May, defeat Queen Aminata in 11:18 with the reverse bulldog. I made it storytelling. As I say, they're still developing their skill sets. To be fair, they are quite youthful, so they've got a lot of time to develop. And this was a 50, 40 and a 53 overall. You can see with the performances, they've got a bit to go, but we'll get there. We then had a backstage segment where the BCC run wild and they beat the crap out of Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta. They've cornered them and they have the 3-on-2 beatdown. So that's Claudio, John Moxley and Pac, and that is a 64. Continues the Bryan's final run storyline. We then had a wild brawl, which saw the other member of that kind of group, Eddie Kingston, in action against Shane Taylor. That's why he wasn't there. And in a decent reaction, but not great wrestling, Eddie Kingston defeated Shane Taylor in 9:18 with the back fist of the future. I thought these two would click well in a brawl type environment, but obviously not the case. 49, 40, 57, and you can see that being an awkward bout made it a very poor performance from Shane Taylor, which is sad to see. After the matchup, we saw Claudio, Moxley and Pac cutting some words on Eddie Kingston. They just says, well, you were wrestling, look what happened to your two friends. And they also said, we love how you've got this idea that it's going to be you, Garcia and Wheeler against us three at Grand Slam Australia. We know someone who's going to make sure you don't make it to Grand Slam. He's took you out before, he's going to take you out again. So out of nowhere, Gabe Kidd comes out and he beats the crap out of Eddie Kingston. Like, he just demolishes him. So I'm hoping to set up a match there. I don't know how often we'll have Gabe Kidd available, but we do have him in loan. It's just when he may prioritise New Japan ahead of us, and we'll have to work around that. But yeah, we're looking at Claudio, Moxley, Pac against Yuta, Garcia, and who? Remains to be seen. But 54 anyway. Storyline advanced with the segment, but lost a bit of heat. Next up, we had a decent matchup that saw Ricochet gain some positive momentum by defeating Buddy Matthews in 11:50 with a 6:30 splash. I kind of thought a bit more of Buddy Matthews, but overall a 68. And yeah, just giving Ricochet some good momentum. We then cut to a backstage promo from Okada and the Young Bucks. Jack Perry is on duty with New Japan Pro Wrestling, so couldn't be there. But Okada says, he's still waiting for that competition to show up. He's going to just keep putting the title on the line against these nobodies, and hopefully somebody finally steps up when the time is right. And the Bucks say, yeah, notice that things have went a wee bit better when Jack hasn't been around. It's maybe just unfortunate. But they're going to take those tag titles back at Grand Slam, because it's a big occasion, and that's when they shine. And that was a 70. Then had some more words with Big Bill and Bryan Keith with Renee Paquette alongside him as interviewer. And again, they're just wishing Jericho well. They says it won't be too long till Chris Jericho's back and the learning tree can really advance. So that was a 43. Renee Paquette, the star of the show. Good to see. And they dedicated the match to Jericho as well, but they lost again to Aussie Open the second time they've faced them. Doing well to have minimal repeat matches, but anyway, Aussie Open defeat the learning tree in 9:52 when Kyle Fletcher pinned Bryan Keith with the Coriolis. 66 for the segment, pretty decent stuff there. You can see there that Fletcher and Mark Davis far better, advances the learning tree storyline, and yeah, they have all the momentum in the world going in to Grand Slam. Then had some character development words from Dr. Britt Baker, just basically again just saying how she's sick of everything in AEW, the treatment she's had since she's been back, and it's time for a change. 48. And our main event, another repeat match, but I thought like it made sense at this point. Decent matchup that saw Will Ospreay defeat Shelton Benjamin in 13:38 with the Stormbreaker. This was designed to let the wrestlers go out and steal the show. Sadly, Shelton was off his game, which took him, I'd probably save him for a 50 because really off his game is quite penalising. Ospreay with a fantastic 83. Storyline advances, overall it was a 60 though, so Ospreay's looking good going forward. And we finished the show with some words from Ospreay, sadly only a 50 for the segment. But he basically talks about all the people that are kind of being a thorn on his side. Obviously Takeshita attacked him, and he says he's going to defeat him to remain the international champion. But he also mentions Bobby Lashley and MVP, and says he knows what the situation is with Aussie Open, the situation with Ricochet, the problem that the Hurt Syndicate has with Will Ospreay, and he says he's going to get Takeshita into his back mirrors, and then he's going to take down Lashley, he's going to take down Powerhouse Hobbs, he's going to take down Shelton Benjamin as many times as he'll come forward, but he will not lose to the Hurt Syndicate. So building up a good few things for Grand Slam, and a little bit post Grand Slam as well. I don't want to reveal too much of the card too early, obviously. We can pretty much guarantee booked in at the moment Orange Cassidy versus Swerve and Jamie Hayter versus Mariah May. So only a 69 overall, but it does gain its popularity in 3 regions. I'd actually say we're pretty solid in the wrestling point. I'd probably say we need maybe higher 70s just to make us a bit more secure, but if I had a bit more faith in the angle side of things, I'd maybe haven't knocked out the park with them, because I've been trying to make it more storyline rather than going for ratings. But I think we're doing okay. It's not horrible, and I think we've progressed a lot of stuff going forward, at least in my head. Locker room incidents before Rampage, none. So we'll crack on, we'll book Rampage, and we'll see you for Rampage and Collision. So our taping from the Taft Coliseum ended up with 3,790 fans. As now, we'll look over what I booked for Rampage. So this one was more kind of people that haven't had too much TV time and kind of need probably a bit of momentum on their side as well. So Lance Archer defeat Kip Sabian, that was a 49. Camille defeated Rebel in a 19, which is really worrying. More promos from Big Bill and Bryan Keith passing on their sympathies to Chris Jericho, was a 49. A very impressive 67 match with Hikaru Shida defeated Emi Sakura. Good stuff there, I think they had good chemistry together. Johnny TV defeated Christopher Daniels, which was a 44. And this led to a backstage segment that saw Daniels bumping into Nigel McGuinness, and Nigel just saying, you're a loser as a 40 figure, you're a loser as a voice of reason, and it seems like you're a loser in the ring as well. Maybe it's for the best that somebody else took up the reins as the authority figure under Tony Khan. So it was a 55. Wee bit of a discussion between the Kingdom and their matchup in the main event. So that's obviously Bennett, Roddy, and Matt Taven was a 49. And Taven and Bennett took on the Lucha Bros, and it was a win for Phoenix and Penta and a 72. So good stuff from them. I have criminally underused them, admittedly. But that was the wee quick even Rampage. Technical colliding. Let's do it. 16 segments on today's show from the Buffalo River Works. And I realised I probably should have used Danny Garcia for this one, but alas we didn't. We started off with some action in the women's division. As in a decent matchup, we had Deonna Purrazzo defeat Tay Melo in 7:52 with the Fujiwara Armbar. 55 for the wrestling, 38 for the crowd, and a 59 segment here. Just a good win to give Deonna some positive momentum. I think she is still at Chile, so try to build her up. And yeah, really good performance. Happy with the 62. She's in a pretty good position in terms of at least in-ring stuff. And after the matchup, we have her flanked by the intimidating Megan Bain and of course Taya Valkyrie. And she's cutting words on Athena. She says she wants a chance at that TBS championship. She wants to take that belt away from Athena. Just basically completely runs her down and says she's coming for it. Effectively said. That's how we're setting up our TBS title match for Grand Slam. Deonna and Athena. That was a 42. More women's action next, and it saw Io Shirai defeat Camille in 11:43 with the German suplex hold. This match was designed to tell a story after Camille's performance with Rebel. I wasn't too confident here that Io would be able to carry her, but she has, and you can tell that kind of story of Giant versus the underdog in the form of Io Shirai here. And a 59 for the wrestling, 45 for the crowd, 67 segment. Io obviously with a far better performance. And after the matchup, well, we know Mercedes is going to try and get an advantage on Io Shirai, so Mercedes and Camille just beat the living crap out of Io, and that was a 46. That matchup obviously is going to take place at Grand Slam. I'm more than likely going to make it for the New Japan Strong Women's Championship, just so there's something on the line. Next up, with a decent wild brawl as Gabe Kidd defeated Katsuyori Shibata in 10:52 with a sick kick. 62, 38 and a 67 here. I feel like this would be a good matchup to introduce Gabe Kidd. He's obviously not a full-time active member of the roster, he is just on loan, but it's to just make him look a bit more dominating after destroying Eddie Kingston on Dynamite. We then had a promo, which hopefully will help us because it was 70, and it was just words from the VCC from Moxley, Claudio and Pac, sorry. Don't know why they're ahead of Garcia and Yuta, probably alphabetical, but then again, why would Moxley be at the front? But anyway, long story short, it's just basically saying it's 3v2. You know, you've no Darby Allin, he's got to take on Hangman. Eddie Kingston's occupied with Gabe Kidd. You guys are just going to get mercilessly beaten down like you were backstage. You get no hope in hell at Grand Slam. And that was a 70. Storyline advances and gains a little bit of heat, which is good to see. We then had a little backstage beatdown, just Hangman Adam Page destroying Brandon Cutler. Just feel if we continue on to this kind of psycho character we've got going on with Hangman, obviously destroyed Darby Allin, destroyed Mick Foley at World's End. What next for Hanger? So that's a 62. We then had the debut, but it was Ryan Tran as a referee. Thought why not, he may as well take him. But anyway, good wrestling match here, great wrestling match in fact, good heat as Swerve Strickland defeated Kyle O'Reilly in 12:02 with the Swerve Stomp following interference from Prince Nana. This was a 73, 55, 76, so easily could have main evented. I think I was tempted to, but opted against it. But fantastic stuff there with Swerve bringing in an 85. Obviously Kyle O'Reilly, this match was announced on Dynamite, and obviously he's aligned with Orange Cassidy. Probably should have put him in the storyline as well to help carry that storyline over, but of course we do have the angle afterwards where we just have Swerve cutting some words on Orange Cassidy, just saying, this is what I've done to your friend Kyle O'Reilly, just think what I'm going to do to you, and he put up a challenge. So a 62, storyline advances, Swerve benefiting from a hot catchphrase. We then had a decent matchup that saw Nick Wayne defeat Roderick Strong in 8:45 by pinfall, 64, 44, 66. Nick Wayne with 58, Roddy with 70. Both of them have great chemistry and it showed in their performances. You're probably wondering, why would I book this? Roddy has a promise to put Nick Wayne over, so I need to utilise it. And I'm going to try and work it into a little bit of a storyline as well. So Nick Wayne gets the upper hand He still has one more to get from Roddy. But we then see him in the back, and he's going mental. He's like, what the hell just happened? Like, what is going wrong here? And Bennett and Taven are trying to calm him down. He's basically delirious. He's gone mental. That was a 42. Usual promo from Okada as we continue to build this up. Like he just says, where is this competition? Where is this challenge? It's getting boring now. I thought this was where the best wrestled. 66. We're in another backstage segment where it's just Shibata's just... He keeps shaking his head. He's in disbelief that he's lost earlier on. He's that sense of, have I still got the ability to hang at the top level? So it's him just questioning his future. And that was a 50 rated segment. Then a decent matchup that saw the tag team champions in action as the Kings of the Black Throne defeated the MXM Collection in 10:04 when Brody King pinned Mansoor with the Dante's Inferno. Weak link being Mason Madden. 61-48-64, again just making our tag champs look really strong before we head to Grand Slam. So they get the victory over MXM Collection, because I've not really used them that much despite being tag champions. And then we had a promo in our co-main event, which was just Don Callis mocking Will Ospreay, speaking on behalf of Konosuke Takeshita, just saying Will Ospreay's got his eyes on too many things. He's got his eyes on helping Ricochet, his eyes on Bobby Lashley, MVP, Shelton Benjamin, Powerhouse Hobbs. The stuff we was open, he's going to overlook Takeshita, and Takeshita's going to win that International Championship. So that was a 63. Hopefully this main event delivers as much as I hope it does, or should, sorry. And it did. I thought these two would work well, and that's with Vikingo off his game. So it was a good wrestling match, great wrestling match, decent reaction from the crowd, and we had Konosuke Takeshita defeat El Hijo del Vikingo in 13:43 with a touchdown. Obviously made it steal the show, felt these two would make some good work together. 61, and they're really off his game, so you probably could have saw Vikingo into the mid-60s. Maybe could have boosted that match up to about 78, 79. But overall, fantastic stuff, and you make Takeshita look $1 million going in to Grand Slam in a few weeks' time. So to finish the show, we increased our popularity in 4 regions, just the way the networks are for Collision. That's fine. Storylines were mostly moved on by either promos or, truthfully, stuff that isn't actually a storyline. It's like short programs to get us to the next bit, or something that doesn't directly affect someone in it. But as we talk about it, it involves someone. But that's fine. Camille's overused. We need to try and get her over at one point. So I'm not overly too disappointed with the 71. It's pretty good stuff. We continue on an upwards trajectory towards Grand Slam. Financial report sees a $500,000 profit. We're pretty much getting that per show. It's all from broadcast revenue. And yeah, small gains. That's fine. I actually was tempted at one point to put another, like, not quite a Battle of the Belts, but maybe like a Fighter Fest in or something, but it keeps saying, oh, you've got too many pay-per-views, etc. So I'll probably leave it for January. And as I say, we'll just work out, obviously having Wrestle Dynasty like a couple of weeks ago, because we were getting that message twice, we'll just obviously go with what we've got in terms of Grand Slam, Revolution, maybe something in between Revolution and Dynasty. Something in that kind of gap there, because that's quite a big gap between events. And then next big gap, I think it's something in maybe mid-June, just to fill up the TV deal we've got. So we'll just quickly go to broadcasting. Still got 10 episodes to bump on pay-per-view. Right, what have we got? Collision, still got a lot of praise. It's not horrible. Morale issues in All Japan Pro Wrestling and Stardom. Nothing else I've seen there directly affects us. AR Fox is on the road to Ring of Honor. Oh, you already works it. Oh well, you can job it up here then, that's fine. So Bandido is looking to renew his contract, and we're going to bring Jada Stone into developmental for Ring of Honor. Well, that just kind of spoils what's going to happen in the future, but yeah, that's over. 1.22 TV rating, and Pat Buck says that Takeshita's going to be a star. I think we know that. So, yeah. Use your imagination if you get an idea where certain storylines are going and what's happening at Grand Slam. But yeah, as always, cheers for watching. It's much appreciated. Hope you're enjoying the series. Hope you're enjoying the game, of course. It's been a great time for me, as I say. Ever since this mod's come out, I've absolutely blasted it. You know what I mean? Like, this will probably be out in late November, and let's just say it's not November yet. That's how much fun I'm having hammering through these episodes. Just everything's flowing really, really well. I say, I'm aiming truthfully to get to like 2028, 2029 with this save easily. I want to try and echo through a whole new generation of wrestlers. But enough for me, Bill and Bryan. Thank you much for watching again. 3 thumbs up's appreciated. Remember and check out the Fancy Bookers subreddit, Greydog Software forums, twdb.com and bethebooker.net. And check out their socials as well on the old X, Twitter, whatever we're calling it in this day and age. But take it easy, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye bye.